All right, today is our special meeting, January 20th meeting, and I will call it to order. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, so we'll have a little change in the schedule. We're going to start with Coco and then move to Steve, and then we're going to give David a call on the phone. He is ill today, so we'll just do his via phone, and Mr. Kelly will help hook that up for me when we get to that point. So just to go over kind of how we're going to proceed, we'll ask the candidates to give 5-10 minutes about themselves, their background, why they're interested in the position, why they feel they're the best candidate. And then each of the commissioners will ask a question. We have 20 minutes per candidate, so we won't have a ton of time. But this will be their second interview. So I think it'll still work for us. And then, so we'll, of course, as we typically do, have all the candidates back in the library or in the other room, across the hall while we interview the other candidates. So I would like to start by thanking James Temple and members of the Republican Central Committee for their work to bring the 3 candidates for the position of county assessors to the board for our consideration. David Cox, Coco Knudsen, and Steve Kennedy are present-ish, and we thank you for applying for this important elected office of the county. So with that, Steve, we'll give you the boot. And Coco, we'll start with you if you just want to come to the podium and give us your name and tell us a little bit about yourself and your interest in the assessor position.
Well, I'm Coco Knudsen. I was born and raised here, pretty much been here my whole life, except for a few short years that we moved away because my husband got a job up in Billings. I started in the election office, so just a part-time employee. And then eventually, pretty fast, it turned into a full-time job. Sorry.
No, you're good.
And then, like several years into that, they're the current GIS tech that worked for Paul, and then the IT guy. So he recruited the GIS tech to come work in IT, and I've done a lot of work with them in the election office with the mapping, like districting and that kind of stuff. And so they thought that I would be a good fit for the GIS job, and they talked Paul into hiring me down there. And so that's kind of where my role started in the assessor's office. So I kind of started, from the bottom, but Paul put me through all the classes, and I still had to get certified and go out in the field occasionally. And then we moved away, and that was short-lived because this was our home. This was where all of our kids were. And so we came back, and as soon as Paul could, he hired me back.
Okay. Yeah. Well, thank you again for your interest. I appreciated, some of those keywords in your cover letter about honest, efficient, reliable service, kind, courteous, and professional in serving the public, community engagement. I think all, great keywords there. My question to you is, how would residents measure your success as assessor a year into this job?
Well, hopefully they would, I want to be kind of like Paul was. I want to be open and have an open door where they feel like they can come in and talk to me and I can explain. So I would hope that they would say that I was successful at the end of the year.
So, Coco, if you get selected today as assessor, what will the first few days of your position look like?
Well, the first few days, Steve and I are supposed to head, right after this is done, we're supposed to head right to Casper for assessor meetings. So, but if I do get selected, when we come back on Friday, I want to have a meeting with the staff and kind of go over expectations, and which we've kind of already done that anyway. Because I've been I kind of stepped into some of Paul's responsibilities since he's been gone. But I just want to start with the staff, and I feel like I built a really good relationship with them, and you know, I want to see meet with each one of them and see what their thoughts are, and that's my first step.
Okay, thank you.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
Coco, imagine that you are chosen as the next assessor. What's gonna be your favorite part of the job and what's the worst part of the job?
So my favorite part of the job, I think, will be working with the public. I mean, I haven't really had any like negative interactions with the public. The worst part of the job, I think, is probably going to be like not managing the staff, but like timesheets. Timesheets have been rough for me.
Thank you.
Madam Chair.
Yeah, please.
Coco, how do you foresee yourself in the future if you're elected or appointed as diffusing conflicts with the public, in which we know we've got lots of issues with property tax challenges and stuff? So how do you look at yourself, and are you going to make some changes in your office or your personnel, or are you going to do code of ethics, or?
You know, the office, the staff, they're all great. I don't really see making any changes with the staff, but maybe like being more efficient. You know, there's things that we're not, we've been so busy with permits. You know, like we haven't been able to really keep up on our 6-year reviews. And so I've got some ideas of maybe where we can work more efficiently and work on being able to keep up with the 6-year reviews as well as permits and all the other stuff. The exemptions have taken up a lot of our time. Did I answer that?
You answered it. Well, you saw the answer. That's fine.
Madam Chair, Ms. Knudsen, as we all know, the legislature is talking about many different options for property tax. What do you see as the most positive outcome of any legislation that would come forward that you would be in favor for, and how you might implement that in your office?
We would be really happy if they would pick one thing and stick with one thing instead of the several different things, because it's not only hard for us to implement, but it's really hard for the public. They're very confused, and yeah, that's huge. I would want just one fix instead of several fixes, because it's making it hard on not just us in the office, but the public as well.
Any other questions? We've got a little bit of time. Okay. Coco, I think that was it. Appreciate your time.
Well, I appreciate your guys's and for listening. And I appreciate the Republican Party for sending me this far.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we're not starting late, we're still on time. Yeah.
Hi, Mr. Kennedy. Welcome back.
Good.
So yeah, if you could just,
Hear me okay?
There we go.
Very good.
Yeah.
It's always so much fun.
the floor is yours.
Well, good afternoon, County Board of Commissioners and guests. I'm a lifelong resident of Sheridan, Wyoming, with deep roots in our community and a strong commitment to serving the people of Sheridan County for more than 45 years. I'm in my 20th year working in the assessor's office, and I'm a permanently certified property appraiser with the DOR since 2008. I have completed the required continued education courses every 2 years to keep this certification. Through my professional experience and my involvement in various community activities, I have gained a firsthand understanding of the strengths of our county as well as the challenges we must continue to address. I believe in efficient government that serves the public responsibly and transparently. The Office of County Assessor plays a vital role in protecting private property rights, ensuring fair and accurate property valuations, while safeguarding taxpayers from unnecessary or inequitable taxation. These responsibilities require both technical expertise and a strong commitment to public service. If appointed, my priorities will include maintaining accurate and uniform assessment, while the assessment processes are consistent, data-driven, and clearly communicated. Property owners deserve fair and respectful treatment, and with kindness and professionalism. My skills and qualifications: enthusiastic, dependable employee with over 40 years of customer service experience. I bring a deep well of interpersonal communications and conflict resolution skills that are highly transferable to a variety of roles. My expertise includes managing diverse client needs, building long-term relationships, handling high-pressure situations with professionalism, and representing my employer with integrity. I excel in active listening, problem-solving, and versatility. I am quick to learn, love challenges, and adapt to new situations. My background has honed my ability to foster trust, manage public perception, and work well with little or no supervision. I am collaborative, flexible, and adaptable, with a willingness to grow and improve. Now let's talk about specifics. I've helped create a spreadsheet for market stratification per neighborhood, and the DOR has asked and used our processes as a statewide teaching tool for other counties. I review all the sales which are used to create the ratios for all the neighborhoods and apply adjustments if needed. Our ratio studies meet the COD, which is the coefficient of dispersion confidence level for appraisal uniformity. And I participated in this process with Rita, the recently retired Deputy County Assessor. It is our responsibility to create defendable values. I have helped Paul and Rita with the yearly abstract review and certification with the State Board of Equalization. This is our county report card. I have reviewed thousands of properties over the years, measuring many new homes for the tax roll. And with regards to property protests, I have spoke with and explained the valuation process to hundreds. Very few have gone to formal protests, but I have spoken at the County Board of Equalization hearings and am familiar with these proceedings and the work that it involves. I have helped with the yearly audits with the DOR and sat in with Paul and Rita during those discussions. We are currently training 4 new employees who are in the educational process of becoming certified appraisers. Being part of this training and sharing my knowledge and experience with these people is critical. I also assess and value the oil and gas parcels for the county, although there's not as many of those as we used to have. I've accompanied Paul every year to the summer assessor meetings and sometimes to the annual WACO meetings. That's the Wyoming Association of County Officers. In closing, I am committed to responding promptly and thoughtfully to taxpayer questions and concerns, and to ensure the assessor's office operates with integrity, efficiency, and with adherence to the statutes, rules, and laws. I view this office not as an expansion of government, but as a service to the people. Our community deserves leadership that values fairness, personal responsibility, and sound fiscal management. The assessor and office should be welcoming and approachable, not adversarial. We are an open office with a very efficient and knowledgeable staff, and it would be an honor to continue to serve the residents of Sheridan County with integrity, honesty, and common sense as the appointed county assessor. Thank you for your time and your consideration.
Thank you. I will start off with my question. Steve, how would residents measure your success as an assessor a year into year?
How would the residents
Mhm.
measure that?
Mm-hmm.
I think I have an excellent rapport with the residents. I've communicated over the years with so many of them. Sat down with it and explained how their process comes about for their valuations, what goes into that. The sales, the ratios, the market adjustments, the massive appraisal and application of those types of adjustments and what it means to their assessment.
Thank you.
Madam Chairman. Steve, if you get selected as assessor, what will the first few days of your position look like?
What will it look like? Well, the first thing we'll do is we'll have a meeting to address where everybody stands in the office, how they feel about everything. Their questions and concerns, I think, are vital. I've complimented our staff, and I'm part of that staff. I've complimented them over the years. I said this at a closing speech earlier in the week that I value them greatly. I value their expertise, their knowledge, and I believe it's important that we continue to share that.
Madam Chair.
Yeah, please.
Stephen, imagine you are chosen as the assessor. What would be your favorite part of the job and your worst part of the job?
Good question. I think the favorite part of the job is the hands-on, the ability to go out and gather the data and visit with the homeowners, explain the exemptions that we have, the various things that's going on. There's a lot of moving parts in the assessor's office. There's a lot of things going on. So just being able to educate the public as best as we can, because sometimes it is confusing. Everything that goes on with legislation can be confusing for them. They don't understand. So just giving the ability to educate them so that they better understand our processes, I think is critical.
All right, Madam Chair, Mr. Kennedy, as you know, the legislature is discussing a myriad of property tax legislation. What do you hope to see come out of the legislature and how would you implement that in your office?
Well, the legislature meets, we just implement what they decided to do. Some of it has been some overlappings with the various exemptions. We have 50%, 25%, veterans exemption, caps. We've created some information pamphlets and things to help explain that to them. So I think if legislation changes anything, if they go, it's important that the public knows what that is going to do in their assessments and their evaluations and how that would impact them.
Madam Chair, Mr. Kennedy, in your opening statement, you mentioned something to the effect that you're to be of service to the people and not adversarial.
Right.
My question would follow along those lines is there some office changes or is there some new protocol that you want to instigate in order to make your office a little more negotiable with talking with the public when they're coming in?
Absolutely. I think that everyone has a different level of how they speak to the public. It's not easy to speak to the public at times. It can be very difficult. We do our very best to explain how we derive values, what we have to do as far as our data gathering is concerned, why we have to be on their properties. It's important to get that data right. If you don't have correct data, then you have skewed data that comes out of that. You have skewed results. So it's important that all of the characteristics of a property are listed correctly. And if we're not allowed to do those jobs, then you bring guesswork into the game. And when you bring guesswork into the game, then you don't have uniformity.
Thank you.
Any other follow-up questions? Well, we appreciate your interest, Mr. Kennedy. We've got a little extra time. I don't know if you have any closing comments or.
Oh, I don't have any more closing comments than what I spoke, other than, you have copies of my resumes and you have a copy of my letter of intent. My resume, I have had 3 jobs. Worked in the restaurant business, public service for 21 years. Worked for Morgan Stanley for 14 years in the finance business, and I've been with the county since 2006. I'm dedicated to my job, moving around and jockeying. I come in and do the work.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, folks. Forward.
Text him. I'm gonna rip my phone out of my hands and. Maybe do it. So we're just checking in with David to see if he's ready. Since we're a little ahead of schedule now. Right, no, no. He'd probably smell it if it was.
This business will be closed down. I heard it was closed down.
I heard, I never heard anything.
I've been meaning to ask Jason.
Had a schedule.
Like,
Hey, it's cool. We can call.
That's ridiculous, man.
Okay, fine. Okay, all right. Yeah. Okay, all right. Talk to you in a sec. Bye. Yep. Okay, he's ready.
Okay. Sure you get the right number.
What do you call me?
Wow.
Cameron didn't give it to me.
He's not even here to defend himself.
Hello.
David?
Hi,
Hi, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you, yes.
Okay, can folks hear David all right? We've got you here in the boardroom. And again, we're just gonna have you tell us a little bit about yourself and your interest in the position, and then each of the commissioners was gonna ask you a question.
Okay.
So I'll turn it over to you.
Okay, awesome. I apologize for my voice, not feeling very well today, but anyway, so yeah, my name is David Cox. Grew up in Sheridan, lived here my whole life. Been working in dealerships, specifically Valley Motor Honda, or now Sheridan Honda, since I was 15 years old. And I think it's just time for a change for me, working. I just want to do a different job, different career. The county assessor, for me, it just seems like an interesting job that I can really sink my teeth into. I've got a lot of numbers experience, which I'm sure can benefit. I do have a lot to learn about it. I don't know everything about it, but I'm willing to learn. Apologies, my mind's running a little slow right now.
You're good, you're good.
Yep. So, yeah, it'd be a chance for me to serve the community, and just something different I can sink my teeth into and pursue, and hopefully at the end of the year, run for re-election and get elected again for another 4 years. So.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, that sounds good. I'll start with the questions.
Okay.
And how do you think residents would measure your success as an assessor after this first year?
So, I think the biggest thing is just listen and understand, people's concerns, because it's definitely you're not in a favored position. You're going to have people that are upset with you, but at least listening and helping them understand why the numbers are, what the numbers are, and the statutes we have to follow, and just all the reasons we came up with why we did. And if I can part ways with them understanding and knowing everything and understanding how everything works and why we do what we do and how we do it, that would be, I think, beneficial for everybody.
Yeah, I agree. One of Mr. Fall's great skills.
Yes.
All right, David, this is Nick Siddle. If you get selected as assessor, what would the first few days of your position look like?
It would be learning, learning the ins and outs, talking with all the other people in the office, their positions, their roles, and learning from them. I would assume it's a lot of teamwork, and getting everybody's input on how they do things, why we do things, and then start making assessments from there.
Okay. Yeah, David, hi, Lonnie Wright. Imagine that you were chosen as the assessor, David, and can you tell me what you would imagine the favorite part of the job is and what the worst part of the job is?
So actually they're kind of one and the same. So you're going to deal with people that are more complaining. So that's going to be the worst part, but that's going to turn into the best part is partying where, they're happy when they leave, no matter what. Not leaving uneducated and not understanding, but be able to reiterate everything and turn the whole thing into a learning experience for both parties, and just leaving basically with a satisfied customer.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Mr. Cox, this is Holly Jennings. As you know, there's a myriad of property tax legislation coming out of the legislature this year, going through the legislature. What would you like to see come out of all of that legislation, and how would you implement whatever does come out of it?
So I'm sorry, I only got kind of part of that.
Let me repeat it. Do I need to get closer?
I would.
Okay.
Yeah, please, thank you.
I'm on the far end. All right, sorry, that was a long question. Can you hear me a little better?
Yes, I can.
Okay. As you know, there's a myriad of property tax legislation that's going to go through the legislature this year. What would you like to see come out of all of those bills? And how would you implement whatever does actually come out of the legislature?
So, I don't know exactly what is going to go through. I definitely have some studying and research to do on that. What I'd like to come out and see is not anything that changes in a huge way compared to how we're doing things right now. I definitely need to get learned up more on it, so I wish I could answer more fluently, but that's what I've got.
Yeah, we don't know what's gonna happen either, David.
Yeah.
Mr. Ersey, do you wanna come? Do you wanna
Yeah,
come down?
maybe I should.
Just in case, sorry. It's okay. We don't have a big people.
Can you hear me all right?
I can hear you, yes.
Okay, my question is fairly simple. Would there be some office protocol changes or personnel directives changes to how the public is how cases are looked at and what would you change and implement to make the experience at the assessor's office more palatable for the taxpayers?
So I don't exactly know how everything runs right at the moment. I would have to assess that. But definitely, it wouldn't be, the guy sitting in the back that, doesn't talk to the general public. I think the assessor should be open to anybody and everybody that wants to talk to him, and be accessible, to the public. If somebody has a question, concern, we'll follow a protocol that goes in the order, and if it ends up being to the assessor position, then so be it. I don't think there should be. I think it should be the assessor should be accessible to anybody in the general public that has any concerns.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Right. Well, that's all of our questions, David.
Okay.
We're gonna go into executive session next, have some discussion about the interviews, and then come back out and announce our decision. So I will follow up with you and let you know how that goes.
Okay. All right. I appreciate it. Thank you, everybody. Sorry I couldn't be there in person.
Yeah, sorry
Thank
you're not
you.
feeling well. Thanks, David.
Thank you. Okay.
All right. I would look for a motion to move into executive session.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
right? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right.
We won't.
Yes.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I move to adjourn from executive session and reconvene to open session.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Right, we'll just give Kelly a moment to get back.
It's a recorder on either.
Yes.
Okay.
Bonnie and I connected, so Bonnie's motion's on there.
Thank you, Kelly. All right, item 4, appointment of temporary successor to fill county assessor vacancy.
Madam Chairman,
Commissioner Siddle.
I move to appoint Coco Knudsen to fill the vacancy for the position of Sheridan County Assessor, assuming her duties upon taking the oath of office and executing her official bond to the state of Wyoming and continuing until January 4th, 2027. Second.
We have motion and a second. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations, Ms. Knudsen.
Thank you very much, to you, Steve.
And-
Thank
and
you.
for that. And with that, we are adjourned at 1:57, and I'll give Mr. Cox a call.